Good evening, Metafria Doglo and dear viewers. The Persian Hebrew Congregation in suburban Chicago, which Rabbi Shaoul Hamaoui leads, was attacked when a window was shattered. There was no one in the synagogue at the time, and police in Skokie, Illinois, are investigating vandalism as a hate crime while searching for the offenders. However, this is not the only incident recently, as anti-Semitic incidents and mass attacks are rising despite an early Friday announcement by Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas of a bilateral ceasefire. The new increase comes following a spike in anti-Semitic events in prior years. There were 327 incidents at Jewish institutions such as synagogues, schools, and community centers last year, up 40% from 234 in 2019. Jewish are not the only ones on target, as Muslims are also suffering from vandalism and bias. After receiving a criminal mischief complaint, NYPD officers discovered hate graffiti spray painted on the front door of the Teba Islamic Center in Brooklyn on May 13. The Hate Crime Task Force was alerted, and the inquiry is still on the way. The graffiti, which said "Death to Palestine," was uncovered as attendees celebrated Eid al-Fitr at the end of the holy month of Ramadan. The recent hate incidents can only be solved by showing restraints from both sides, and religious leaders can surely calm down the situation. President Joe Biden decided on a plan when the conflict began between Israel and Hamas. His approach was more subdued in style and substantively tougher than some of his friends had anticipated. It was motivated by a single goal: to end the violence as quickly as possible, so he could return his attention to his home issues. Biden decided not to publicly discuss his issues with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu despite their differences. He did not say anything about the root cause in public and just took a few questions on it. Biden even joked around over a journalist who wanted to ask him about Israel during a trip to Michigan this week, and he supported Netanyahu's Gaza assault to the degree that astonished and outraged several Democrats. The White House hailed the ceasefire announcement between Israel and Hamas on Thursday as a victory for Biden's quiet, intensive diplomacy. This account of Biden's handling of his first major foreign policy crisis is based on conversations with 10 administration officials and others familiar with the strategy. Several administration sources claim the president's stance was influenced by lessons learned from the Obama administration response to the 2014 confrontation between Israel and Hamas, which resulted in the deaths of 2,000 Palestinians. They praised the Biden team's interaction with regional countries as quite different from 2014 and ultimately effective. This is our breaking news for tonight. Thank you for having me on Focal Point. Good night.